Hello my dear students. Today let us learn a new chapter called as Disaster Management. Introduction. Look at this plane which is going and attacking the Twin Towers. What do you see here? These are some of the glimpses of the floods in Mumbai on July 25, 2005. Many people had died. How can you forget the darkest day of Mumbai on 26/11? And this is the recent one, Cyclone Varda. All these events are collectively termed as disaster because they cause loss of huge life and property. Huge loss of life and property. So, last year you have learned about some of the disasters. Now, can you tell what is meant by a disaster and what are the different types of disasters? Yes, a disaster is nothing but a sudden event that causes large scale damage to life, property, and social aspects of the society, nation is called as disaster. Okay, so that means it is a sudden event. We don't know when it can happen. So it's a sudden event that can cause large scale damage to life. That means many people lose their lives. Even the property is lost, and even the social life or social aspects of the society or nation is all disturbed. So this is called a disaster. And there are disasters are classified into two main types. They are man-made and natural disasters. So last year you have learned about some of the disasters and calamities such as the famine, the cloud burst, then lightning, volcanic eruptions, tsunami, and storm. This year you are going to learn about three different disasters. One is earthquake, second fire, and third is landslide. Now let us learn about the earthquake first. So now let us learn about an earthquake. Now what is an earthquake and what are the effects of the earthquake? Let us learn about this. Now, yes, you must be thinking about what is an earthquake. So you might think that earthquake are nothing but the vibrations or quaking in the earth's crust is known as an earthquake, right? So it causes the destruction of the infrastructure such as the buildings, bridges, then roads, railway tracks. So even there is change in the direction of the flow of water, is loss of life and property, right? Correct. So you all are right that earthquake is nothing but the sudden vibrations on the earth and shaking of the earth surface or ground is called as an earthquake. These cause seismic waves leading to movements of the earth's surface like tremors, shaking, or it goes up and down. So you could see over here the seismic waves which are caused from the center of the earth. Okay, so this from this center it goes up and it causes an epicenter, and wherever there is an epicenter, okay, the damage will be more near the epicenter. Now you can see the shocks and waves which are formed in the interior of the earth spread on the surface in all directions. And the central point of the earthquake is the point below the epicenter. You can see the epicenter on the earth's surface. So strong convulses or waves at first reach to this epicenter, and here there is major loss occurring near that area. Okay, so wherever there is epicenter, there will be a major loss of life and property. So shocks occur due to an earthquake can be either mild or intensified. On the earth, mild earthquakes occur in a large number than the intensified or the runners. Every day, earthquakes are noticed at some or the other places on the earth. And according to the observation of National Earthquakes Information Center, every day, instead of every day, it's every year, nearly 12,400 to 14,000 earthquakes are occurring on the earth. So, isn't it shocking? So we hardly notice earthquake, but you can see according to the National Earthquakes Information Center, every year nearly 12,400 to 14,000 earthquakes are occurring on the earth. From this, it is noticed that the earth is continuously vibrating. So here how we can come to know how much is the intensity of the earthquake. For that we have a machine called as Richter scale. Okay, so machine or an instrument which records the earthquake is called as a seismograph or a seismometer, and the intensity of this earthquake can be measured with the Richter scale. So it has the scale from 0 to 10. Okay, so this is one of the mathematical measuring unit, and it was discovered by Charles F. Richter in the year 1935. The size of an earthquake is measured from 1 to 10 on the scale, and from 0 to 3 it is the less massive earthquake, whereas from 6 to 10 it is highly massive or very massive earthquake. So it causes mostly so earthquake causes lot of loss of life and property. Okay, so what might be the causes of this earthquake? Now let us discuss about the causes of the earthquake. So it may be due to the volcanic eruptions, or maybe because of the stress of big dams on the earth, due to mining, and even sometimes underground atomic test. Percolation of the water through the cracks of the earth can also lead to an earthquake. So you can see there are cracks and the water is going into these cracks. Due to these water which is going into the cracks, it reaches finally down there, and since when it reaches down, wherever it is very hot, the water percolates to the cracks of the earth. Due to the tremendous heat, the water present on the cracks get converted into steam. So due to the heat, this water which is percolating down into the ground or seeping into the ground, it gets converted into the steam. And due to steam, what happens? The steam tries to come up towards the surface, and wherever there is an opening, it tries to come out through that opening. Okay, so the steam tries to come out from the loosened earth surface, causing an earthquake, because it is so massive, so much pressure is there for this steam, that it tries to open the earth, and this leads to an earthquake. So these are some of the causes. Now let us learn about what are the effects of the earthquake. So effects, you can know that there will be always loss of life, that is including the human beings, wild animals and pets. Even economic loss at large scale, like electric poles or pipelines, houses, buildings, roads, railway tracks are all destroyed because of the earthquake, and this causes economic loss. Even ecosystem destruction due to the loss of biodiversity occurs. Then the direction of the flow of rivers, streams changes. There is even possibility of the fire in cities. Then if there is an earthquake at the bottom of the ocean, it may even create tsunami waves. You know about tsunami, and thereby large scale destruction of the coastal region will be taking place. Then even the level of the water table changes. You can see that the water table is going down. Fine. So this is regarding the effects of the earthquake. So you have learned that last year, that if there is an earthquake, we should always go under a strong wooden table. So now let us now learn about some of the precautions to be taken at the time of earthquake. So we'll discuss about the different precautions to be taken at different places. Okay, so if you are at home, okay, so precautions to be taken at the time of earthquake. If you are at home, then You should not get scared, and instead of running here and there, you will have to stand still at one place. Either sit on the floor or below the bed or any other furniture and cover yourself until the movement of the earth stops. If there is no table or any shelter, then sit in any corner of the room and cover your head by folding your hands around it so that you can protect your head, because head is the main part of your body. Therefore, you have to cover your head. Okay. So, if anything is not available, like table, wooden table is not available, or any other shelter is not available, then you have to sit in the corner and of the room and protect yourself or cover your head by folding your hands around it. It's because bricks and all are going to fall down, so it might even fall on your head and you might die because of the damage to the head. That is why you need to cover your head. Next, we will discuss about if you are in the vehicle or outside the house. Suppose if you are in the vehicle or outside the house, then you need to park your vehicle at a safer place and sit inside it instead of coming out. Do not wait near or below any tall building, trees or electric pole, and avoid using the lift in the multi-storied building. Instead, use staircase. Do not sit in discomfort for long. Do some physical movements. After the earthquake, there is a possibility of fire. Hence, to avoid it, carefully switch off the main electric supply. Do not use candles here or lanterns, not even matchbox. Instead, you can use a torch or a battery, because if there is a fire because of the candle or the lantern, or the switches on or matchboxes, it might catch more fire. So you have to be very careful. So if it is, current will be going at that time, you can use the torch instead of all these inflammable objects. Fine. So these are some of the precautions to be taken during the time of an earthquake. Now let us learn about some of the measures to be taken when when there is an earthquake. Okay, what are the measures to be taken? So first of all, even the constructions which are brought nowadays made, it's depending upon are made in such a way that they are earthquake resistant or earthquake proof buildings. So construction of the earthquake resistant building. So first precaution, this is the one. So the constructions which do not get damaged due to the earth movements up to a certain limit are called as earthquake resistant building. You can see all earthquake proof buildings. Okay. Now you can see over here on the left hand side the way it is constructed, and on the right hand side you can see the buildings which are getting a crack. Whereas the earthquake resistant building, the arrow which is shown over here, is an earthquake resistant building. Nothing has happened to it because it is made in such a way, by following certain code of conduct it has been made, and therefore it is not getting damaged due to an earthquake. So to construct such buildings, to construct tall buildings, Indian Standard Institute has made some code of conduct. Buildings are constructed as per IS 456, and earthquake resistant constructions are performed according to IS 1893. That is the criteria for earthquake resistant design of structure. And even IS 13920, that is ductile detailing of reinforced concrete structures subjected to seismic forces. Advanced technology is used for earthquake resistant constructions. So these are some of the, you can go to the net and find out about all these things, how they are making these earthquake resistant buildings. Next, to get prior information or intimation about earthquake, modern equipments like laser ranging, very long baseline Geiger counter, crib meter, strain meter, tide gauge, tilt meter, volumetric strain gauge, etc., are used. Okay, so just to find out whether an earthquake will be coming or not, all these instruments are nowadays used, so that people are aware, people remain aware about if there might be an earthquake, what they have to be, what precautions they have to take. So that is why all these equipments are designed. Okay, so this is regarding the earthquake. In the next video we are going to learn about what is meant by what is what how fire can be a disaster, and even last one, that is the landslides. Okay, so till then students, thank you and bye, take care.